Hello Tigers, and welcome to the TMNtv newscast for Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. Stay tuned for the latest news at Fort Hays State University and around Northwest Kansas and the nation. I am Lauren Davis, and Jenna Hawley will be here shortly with a look at what's going on around the globe. And Haley White will fill you in on what's happening in the sports world. But first, here's what's making news in Tigerland. There was plenty of excitement on campus late last week for the FHSU community. The FHSU Foundation announced the largest gift in university history, estimated at nearly $20 million. The gift came from Earl and Nani Field, who were FHSU graduates and longtime Wooster Society members. The money will be used to help FHSU athletics as well as the arts and music programs. The investments will be used to fund scholarships to help multiple students at FHSU. The large donation was originally tabbed for FHSU years ago after Earl Field's death. But a lengthy court case with a fraudulent codicil put together by Hays resident Wanda Oborny kept the money from going to the college. After years of court proceedings and a lengthy trial and appeals, it was affirmed that Oborny had drafted the fake codicil, leaving the majority of the estate's money for her. Her appeals were overruled, and the money finally made its way to the couple's rightful original benefactors at FHSU. Numerous FHSU dignitaries and students attended last week's announcement in celebration of the gift. Students will have a say in what the future of the Student Government Association looks like during voting for new senators and president and vice president this week. Elections are Wednesday and Thursday for FHSU students. The only ticket running for the top spots are Brad Demers for president and Michael Musgrove for vice president. They are running unopposed. A total of 19 students have entered races to represent their respective colleges at FHSU. Final results will be announced before Thursday's 7 p.m. SGA meeting in the Memorial Union. A New Jersey representative is now weighing in on the death of a former Garden City Community College football player. Chris Smith, a Republican from New Jersey, told the Garden City Telegram that Garden City Community College President Ryan Ruda has agreed to meet with the mother of Braden Bradforth, who died after preseason practice in August. Smith and Bradford's mother, Joanne Atkins Ingram, held a press conference last week to discuss the juniors college's handling of the player's death. The representative said it was well past time for the player's mother to meet with the college president. An unofficial date for the meeting between the two parties has been set for later this month. Those representing Bradford's mother have said GC3 has refused to meet with her, but the college says that is not true. Art Hogg served his country during World War II, and his friends and family served him a special day on his 101st birthday Sunday. Hogg has been in the Topeka VA for approximately 5 years and spent Sunday taking pictures with family, eating cake, and reading birthday cards. He served in the Navy for nearly 4 years during the war and was an aviation mechanic. An FHSU employee was awarded a prestigious honor recently. Mandy Kern, a program specialist at FHSU's Kansas Wetlands Education Center, was named the Connie Elpers Rising Star at the 2019 Excellence in Conservation and Environmental Education Awards banquet in early April. Kern began working at KWEC in June as a program specialist and is in charge of 6th grade through college level programs. She also is in charge of various public scouting and 4-H programs. Kern has offered 2 drop-in STEM days at the Wetlands Center that had multiple activities related to STEM and offered environmental education training to FHSU elementary science methods students. A total of 12 people involved with the FHSU Math Department recently attended the Kansas section meeting of the Mathematical Association of America in Pittsburgh. 7 faculty and 5 students participated. 2 of the students presented papers at the conference, as did 4 faculty members. 2 teams from FHSU also competed in a math event at the conference. A Fort Hays State University police officer was honored for helping keep a child safe during the annual Frost Fest parade in downtown Hays in December. Jonathan Rupp spied a child trying to retrieve candy in the middle of a road right in front of a pickup. Rupp skidded his bike to a stop between the child and the pickup, keeping the child from a possible injury. He received the Silver Life Saving Award at Friday's Kansas Association of Chiefs of Police Valor Awards banquet in Topeka. While this weekend marks the Easter holiday, it also marks the annual FHSU Rodeo at Doug Phillip Arena, just southwest of town. The public is invited to performances beginning at 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday. A cowboy church service will be at 5 p.m. Saturday to accommodate the Easter holiday. Approximately 500 competitors from 22 schools are expected to compete this weekend in Hays. Tickets for FHSU students is $5 with a Tiger ID. Advance tickets for the general public are $10 for tickets and $5 for children. Tickets at the gate are $12 for adults and $8 for children. When we return from this short break, Jenna will be here with news from around the globe.
I think there's a perception out there that web and mobile application development is this field where you sit behind a computer all day and code. And that's not it at all, right? And there's even a perception out there that geek is bad. But I think students should embrace their inner geek. We don't code all day. We look at issues, we look at problems, and try to figure out the pieces of the puzzle and how to put them together to build things.
I was able to learn JavaScript, HTML, CSS, PHP, just kind of the whole 9 yards with that. So I really enjoyed the full program that they offered here.
Anything that you're interested in, the field of web and mobile application development, there's a value to. There's nothing like what we have in the informatics department. If you choose to take everything in the buffet that we offer, you'll be very well prepared for any type of job opportunity that's out there.
Hello Tigers, I'm Jenna Hawley and here's what's going on around the globe. Thursday morning we'll see the release of the highly anticipated report by Special Counsel Robert Mueller. A spokeswoman for the Justice Department said Attorney General William Barr will release the report to Congress and the public in the morning. Barr will release the report after department lawyers block out secret grand jury testimony, classified information, material related to continuing investigations, and other delicate information. Mueller found no evidence of conspiracy between Russia's 2016 election interference and Trump associates. Barr and the Deputy Attorney General said President Donald Trump did not commit an obstruction offense. According to the New York Times, some of Mueller's investigators have told associates that Barr played down the negative implications for Trump when he shared their main conclusions. Lawmakers have demanded the full text of the document. Barr said in hearings last week he would work with lawmakers to allow them part of the information. He promised to be as transparent as possible and that the redacted report would give the public an accurate picture of the investigation findings. Democratic presidential candidates for the 2020 election have come to the defense of Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Omar was recently thrust into the spotlight for comments about the September 11th terrorist attacks and Muslim civil rights. While speaking at an event hosted by the Council on American Islamic Relations in Los Angeles last month, she discussed how Muslim Americans had their rights and freedoms infringed upon following the 9/11 attacks. According to NBC News, most prominent among her critics was President Donald Trump. The president tweeted a video of the Twin Towers being hit by airplanes and burning down, along with a cut of Omar saying, "Some people did something," when speaking about the terror attacks. Democratic presidential contenders denounced the tweet during the weekend as an attempt to incite violence against Omar, who is a freshman member of Congress. The Congresswoman has received numerous death threats since Trump's tweet Friday. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi released a statement Sunday demanding the president remove the video. Pelosi has also said she spoke with the House Sergeant at Arms following the president's tweet to ensure that Capitol Police are conducting a security assessment for safeguard Congresswoman Omar, her family, and her staff. A massive fire engulfed one of France's most famous landmarks. On Monday, the medieval Cathedral of Notre Dame's spire and roof collapsed. Many historic artifacts were believed to have been destroyed, only to be found salvaged after the fire. The Paris Fire Service announced on Twitter that firefighters came to grip with the blaze at 3:30 a.m. Tuesday, more than 12 hours after nearly 400 firefighters fought the flames. According to USA Today, a massive fundraising campaign was underway to rebuild the cathedral. Nearly $700 million has been pledged for the reconstruction. Notre Dame was built over a nearly 200-year span beginning in 1163 under King Louis VII. The historic site is a popular tourist destination known for its spectacular stained glass windows. Paris prosecutor Remy Heights said there is no evidence of arson and they believe it was an accident. 6 people appeared in court Monday in New Zealand on charges of illegally distributing a video of a gunman shooting worshippers at 2 mosques last month. The charge of supplying or distributing objectionable material carries a penalty of up to 14 years imprisonment. Businessman Philip Arps and an 18-year-old suspect both were denied bail. They were taken into custody in March while 4 other suspects are not in custody. According to CBS News, New Zealand's chief censor has banned the live stream footage of the mosque attack and the manifesto written and released by the gunman. The video was viewed 4,000 times on Facebook before being taken down. For the first time since the 2011 disaster, fuel is being removed from a cooling pool at the wrecked Fukushima nuclear plant in Japan. On Monday, Tokyo Electric Power Company said workers started removing the first of 556 fuel units stored in the pool. According to Fox News, the fuel units are not enclosed and the removal to safer grounds is crucial to avoid disaster in case of another large quake. TEPCO says the removal at Unit 3 could take 2 years. Workers on an oil rig noticed something unusual in the waters in southern Thailand. Approximately 135 miles offshore, they saw a dog partially submerged in the waters. The animal swam up to the oil platform and clung to it as team members tried to find a way to help. A team of men spent 15 minutes working to secure the dog with a rope to pull him to safety. According to NPR, workers provided the dog with water and pieces of meat on the deck of the rig and set up a kennel for him. It is unclear how the dog ended up so many miles offshore. The Bangkok Post said the dog is believed to have fallen from a fishing trawl. The dog was transferred to land Monday to receive veterinary care. The group has declared the dog to be in good health. That's what is happening in the news world this week. Stay tuned for a sports update with Haley White when we return.
The Tiger Media Network is Fort Hays State University's independent student media organization. It's a student employment opportunity where you can work for either the news side or the sports side. So you can be on live sports production, which produces all of the live sports broadcasts that we do, or you could be on the news side and do news stories covering things on campus, so presidential announcements, Student Government Association. We bring that news to the student community and the Hays community as well.
You don't realize how much Fort Hays State has to offer until you're here.
I mean, it is definitely, this is a land of opportunity here.
I just got back from the MIAA tournament in Kansas City a couple weeks ago where we worked with other production crews including Pitt State and Central Missouri. And it's a great time. I've gone there the last couple years.
For me anyway, I get to do sports, which is what I love. And if live productions is where that's at.
This is the perfect place to do it. We have almost everything that you could possibly imagine.
Tiger Media Network allows you the opportunity to take the skills you've learned and put them forward in a real world, real application setting that allows you to flourish and grow as a professional, and that will only help you and benefit you when you graduate and go into the real world workforce.
Hello Tigers, I'm Haley White bringing you a sports update. Fort Hays softball looks to have a midweek non-conference doubleheader this afternoon against Newman at Tiger Stadium. The women are coming off a 1-3 week in conference play after losing both to Emporia State by a single run and splitting the doubleheader against Washburn on the road. The Tigers enter today's matchup 17-18 overall as Newman sits at 12-31. The Tigers will continue MIAA play later this week with a pair of doubleheaders in Missouri, starting with Central Missouri on Friday, followed by Southwest Baptist on Saturday. Fort Hays sits at 10-10 in the conference with just 6 MIAA matchups remaining of the regular season. FHSU baseball will travel to Edmond this week for a 3-game series against Central Oklahoma, beginning Thursday with the series finale set to take place on Saturday. The Tigers are coming off an Ichabod sweep as Washburn took all 3 games at Larks Park over the weekend, where the team hosted its annual Pack the Park to open up the series, where fans experienced food and drink specials as well as giveaways sponsored by Heartland Building Center. TMN's Gabe Warwick has the inside look of Friday's event.
FHSU Baseball hosted Washburn on Friday, April 12th for the annual Pack the Park event at Larks Park. Ryan Reuter took the mound for the Tigers in his 6th starting appearance of the season. Opposing him was Josh Ramirez for Washburn in his 11th start of the season. Skipping ahead to the bottom of the 4th inning with the game tied at 1 apiece, the Tigers' leadoff batter, Marcus Altman, hit a line drive single to left field. A few batters later, after Altman stole second and got into scoring position, it was Bryce Baumwart's turn to swing the bat. It wouldn't matter where Altman was on the base pass because Baumwart would crush the 3-1 pitch over the left field wall. It was a no-doubter 2-run shot that brought all the fans in attendance to their feet. The strikeout would help Ramirez get out of the 4th inning, but not before the Tigers got 2 runs on 2 hits going into the 5th inning with a 3-1 lead. The Tigers took a 5-1 lead through 5 innings, however the top of the 6th inning would be where Washburn would get 3 runs back. Washburn led off the inning with an infield single. After scoring a run on an error, the Ichabods hit a deep home run to left, plating 2 more runs. The score would be 5-4 Tigers after 6. Moving forward to the top of the 7th, with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs, the new Tiger pitcher Ethan Bowie would give up his first 2 runs to Peter Shearer on a home run to right field. The Ichabods had their first lead at 6-5. In the bottom of the 9th, the Tigers would get one more chance to tie or take the lead with a score of 7-5. The leadoff batter would get plunked on the first pitch by the newly entered Ichabod pitcher. The Tigers got a single with a fielding error, scoring the run from first and closing the gap to just 1 run. The Tigers were in perfect position to pounce on the Ichabods. With the pinch runner on second, the Tigers decided to sacrifice their second out. With the perfectly placed sacrifice bunt, the runner was able to advance 90 feet to third. A few batters later, with 2 outs, the Tigers struck out as Washburn wins the game 7-6. Fort Hays falls to 3-29 on the season and 2-16 in the MIAA. FHSU hosts Pittsburgh State May 3rd through the 5th as the last home series before the MIAA tournament in Pittsburgh.
Fort Hays golfer Bryce Cohen led the men's golf team to a 9th place finish among MIAA competition during the SBU Invitational earlier this week in Bolivar, Missouri. The freshman fired off identical rounds of 79 in the first 2 rounds and finished with a 77 in round 3, where he tied for 48th individually. Mac McNish wasn't far behind as he finished with rounds of 80, 77, and 81, finishing 63rd individually. The Tigers will be back on the course next weekend when they compete in the MIAA Championships at Monkey Island, Oklahoma. FHSU women's basketball head coach Tony Hobson has been named the KBCA Women's 4-Year College Coach of the Year. This is the first time Hobson has received this honor as he wrapped up his 11th season as head coach at FHSU during the 2018 and 19 season. Hobson led Fort Hays to its best record in the NCAA D2 era as the team finished 32-2 while capturing its first MIAA tournament championship. The Tigers earned a #1 seed in the Central Regional Tournament where they matched the deepest run the team has made in program history as they competed in the regional final. After a historic season, Hobson became the all-time wins leader of the program as he collected 237 to end this year's campaign. Tiger fans will have the chance to congratulate Coach Hobson of his honors as well as the team's efforts this season Thursday evening as the FHSU Foundation will be hosting a celebration at Robbins Center beginning at 6. All of the public is invited to the event where the team will be signing autographs to kick off the celebration. Bad news continues to pour out of Lawrence as another Kansas basketball player has declared for the NBA draft. Point guard Devon Dotson announced he's going to test the waters and enter the 2019 draft process. The freshman started all 36 games and averaged 12.3 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 3.5 assists for the Jayhawks during the 2018 and 19 season. KU has had several other key players make the same announcement soon after the NCAA tournament. Forward Dedrick Lawson announced he was entering the draft, which was followed by guard Quentin Grimes' announcement days later. With the recent rule change in the NCAA, athletes are now able to hire agents and test the NBA waters to see how well they perform during the combine and how high they are possibly projected to go in the upcoming draft, yet are still able to opt out of that decision and return to the NCAA and be eligible to play in the upcoming season. Among these draft declarations, KU suffered 2 more hits to its roster as KJ Lawson and Charlie Moore announced they would be transferring from the university to play elsewhere in the upcoming season. The Kansas City Royals look to prevent the White Sox from completing a series sweep as the teams compete in the series finale this afternoon. The 5-12 Royals suffered a 5-4 loss in Game 1 against Chicago, followed by a 4-run trail in Game 2, which led to a final score of 5-1. Kansas City will continue its road trip as the Royals face New York for a 4-game series at Yankee Stadium beginning tomorrow at 5:35 p.m. Game 2 is slated for Friday evening at 6, followed by a pair of noon games on Saturday and Sunday. A dramatic equalizer fired by 16-year-old Gianluca Busio led to a 2-2 draw of Sporting Kansas City and the New York Red Bulls Sunday night at Children's Mercy Park. However, Busio's 88th minute strike was not the last of the excitement in the stadium during Sunday's matchup. A frustrated Red Bull star from the sidelines, Alejandro Romero Gamera, intentionally kicked a soccer ball in the direction of Sporting fans where the ball hit a man squarely in the face where he suffered from a bloody nose. Gamera was assigned a red card which carries out as a 1-game suspension, and given the dangerousness of his actions, the athlete could be facing more punishments given by the MLS. Gamera has since apologized in a series of tweets, saying he let his frustrations get the best of him and he is sincerely sorry for the incident. That concludes this episode. Tune in next week for another episode of TMNtv. To stay up to date on the latest news and information throughout the week, visit tigermedianet.com. Until then, remember, roar Tigers!